we're back at it today. I'm by myself. Nobody else wanted to come help, so you know how it goes.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
I've got the water pump out. All the hoses are disconnected. Everything's ready to come out. I can see the heat exchanger back there. There's a boot on the back of it. I need to loosen and take that off. And then that heat exchanger will come out. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'll show you what's going on in here. So this thing's kicking my ass. I don't know, you can see the heat exchanger right there, where that dirty rag is in there. Sorry, the camera's having trouble focusing. Anyways, there's the 22 millimeter gear oil line that attaches to the side, each side, and I can't get those off. So I'm gonna have to go get a really long spanner wrench to get in there and get those off. For now, I think I'm gonna drain the transmission and see what that looks like, and then we'll go from there. All right, we're at the back of the car, about to get the transmission fluid. Get the bottom belly pan off. You can see everything under there. The drain plug is actually on the driver's side of the transmission. Kind of see it right there. It is right there. That's the drain plug for the transmission. It's on the driver's side, kind of facing forward. So basically you just pop that off and it should leak out. It's a 14 millimeter Allen head. All right, everybody, we got the transmission drained. It's a 14 millimeter Allen head. So you just pop that off. It's on the driver's side facing forward. So you just kind of go in this way, unscrew it, drain it. Some coolant was in there, so that's kind of what we expected. Drained it all out. Gonna replace the drain plug, which is right here. It actually came out looking pretty good. There's a magnet on here that catches metal, so there wasn't any shavings on it, so that's good. So we'll replace that copper crush washer, put that back on, fill it up with fluid. In order to do that, we gotta take the bumper off, so I'm working on that right now. You have to take the fender liners out that are right inside here. They're just held in with 4 Phillips screwdriver screws. And then right in here, you'll see we got some 12 millimeter nuts on some bolts that are coming this way. So we'll take those off and the bumper should slide off, I believe. I don't think there's anything hidden. You wanna make sure you unplug these lights. There's a harness right here that you can kind of see. So we'll unplug that, take the bumper off, and we'll have access to the filter on the transmission and the fill on the transmission. So we'll do that right now and we'll fill it up and see where we're at that point. All right, we're taking the bumper off. Like I said, we got to take off those 2 12s right here. Then there's a bracket back here. It's held on to the frame with 2 bolts and then held onto the bumper with 4. So I think I'm gonna take the 2 off the frame just because that seems easier. And I believe it'll slide off after that. We'll see. All right, here we go, taking the bumper off. So we took off the bolts that I told you about on the frame. Those are 19 millimeter, 2 on each side. And then pull the bumper back slightly, and there's gonna be a harness for the license plate lights right here. Plugs in right here. Just pull down on the tab, comes right out. And so that bumper should slide right off. I got a blanket here to put it on, and we'll be able to get to that transmission. Ta-da! Got the bumper off. There it is, in all its glory. Super easy to take that off. I really appreciate the simplicity of this car. It's so easy to work on. It doesn't seem like it looking at these videos and whatnot, but man, compared to some other cars I've worked on, this thing is cakewalk. Anyways, what we were after is you've got the fill hole right here for the transmission. So basically what you do is you put the plug in and you fill it up until it starts to come out. And then you've got the transmission filter right here. So we'll take this off. I think it's an 8 millimeter. And it's like a screen that catches anything in there. So I'm gonna take that out and look at it and clean it. Put it back in, fill it up with fluid, put the drain plug back in, and go from there. All right, we got the transmission filter out, like I said. Just like I said, held in there with an 8 millimeter. Cleaned it up, didn't look too bad. Use this knife to kind of get in between the filter and the metal housing of the transmission because it did not want to come out. So you kind of got to slide something super sharp in there. Slowly pry it out, just be super careful because it seems like it'd be easy to break. And I'll put that back in and then fill up the transmission. All right, just got the heat exchanger out. What a bitch. Here it is, you can see inside of there, not looking so hot. It's leaking out some nasty stuff. The hardest part, we're getting these 2 lines off that connect to the transmission. This is a 25 millimeter and the banjo that holds it on is a 22, so you got to kind of grip it with this and get in there, but it's so far in there it's really hard to get leverage. And then you got to undo these hose clamps so you can slide it out of there, but there it is, it's all out. You can kind of see where the heat exchanger goes on. You can see the temperature sensor poking down in there. It looks pretty clean in there other than a little bit of gunk at the bottom, so I'm gonna flush that out and then button it all back up and see what happens. But yeah, man, those gear oil lines that go to the transmission, those. All right, back at it again. Got the new heat exchanger right here. I swapped over the boots from the old one. You can see how disgusting this is. One of those tubes corroded internally and busted, so that's what happened on that. It's just nasty. But I got the new one here. Moved the boots over. I flushed out the cooling system with a hose. I got coolant everywhere, all over my floor. Clean that up later. I'm gonna slide this back in there and do my best to get it all in there and get everything cleaned up. All right, so I got the new heat exchanger in the car. You can see it right there. You can see one of the lines there that attaches from the transmission, carries the gearbox oil. I replaced the crush washers on both of those. Those were very hard to get back in there and get tight. Took me probably an hour and a half to get those in there and tight. Just a huge pain. So now I'm gonna put the water pump back in, which is right there. I've flushed it, cleaned it out really good. I'm gonna slap it back in there and reattach the power steering pump, reattach all those hoses, clean everything out, and then probably call it quits for the day there. One quick thing I wanted to mention, if you take the water pump out, you always want to replace this O-ring. Part number is 101044. O-ring that goes from right there. You can see it, and it attaches to where the engine, it goes into the engine block. Right there. You can see right there. That's where it goes. So you make sure you replace that, or it's not going to hold a vacuum and it's going to leak.
Hey YouTube, so I just had to give you a quick update on the status of the 360. So Josh had been working on it, and well, we needed to get another part ordered in order to continue. So we ordered that part, and it won't be in for a few days. Plus, he already had a vacation scheduled, so he's on vacation. So that car is not going to be worked on for probably about a week. So have some patience. It'll be done. Don't worry. We're still wrenching on it. We still want to show you the rest of that. It'll be done soon. Total pain in the ass. If you have that happen to you, just expect it to take multiple days to get it fixed. It's just a lot of work. It's just a lot of labor, and you do have to flush it many times. Anyway, so that car is going to be for sale very soon, because as soon as it's done with the flush and all that stuff and we verify it's working, it's for sale. So if you are interested in getting it, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com, and we can make a deal on it. Yeah, it's really it's one of those frustrating things, right? But other than that, you guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe, because we're going to be having a lot of cool car stuff coming your way. It's going to be sweet.